Friday night, I want a chippy tea. Chippy tea, chippy tea. I want a chippy tea. Oh, you keep giving me posh, no, she don't agree with me. I don't want lobster thermidor with raspberry Kool-Aid. It's Friday night, I'm within me rights. I want a chippy tea.
This is where you're coming.
I forgot how to do it. What do we do? What do we say? I should have watched one first.
I should probably have a look at your episode number. Do we scrap episode numbers?
Welcome to the latest episode of.
Yeah, just scrap episode numbers. We'll start titling them. This episode is about our trip to Germany.
Yeah.
Let's make that the focus. We'll have topical episodes. There we go.
Right, good idea. Decision made. Are we ready?
Episode Germany. I can't even remember what show we're called. Screenprint Innovations.
SPI, yeah, there you go. But we'll always call it SPSI, no matter what we do, but... Yeah.
I know, it's catches me, does that?
Right, are you upstairs and all?
Yeah, on my little office area.
Yeah, check you out. Right. We ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on tight. Here we go. Welcome to the latest instalment and episode of the Chippy Tea Podcast. The Chippy Tea Podcast is your chance to catch up with me, Tony P from Palm Print, and
Danny D, Flippy Super.
there you go.
You almost forgot, didn't you? And he was like, me and
I forgot who I was. It's been a while since we did our last one, but suck it up, Buttercup. We've been busy. So, make no apologies. We're doing this for us, not for you.
yeah, it's a selfish endeavour, if we're honest.
So, it's your chance to catch up with us as we have a bit of a chinwag, bit of a video call from wherever I am in the world and wherever Danny is in Brid. And catch up on the wonderful world of screen printing that we seem to have thrust ourselves into. We're going to go back and have a bit of review of what we've been doing. And this episode is going to concentrate on a road trip. Me and Danny went on a road trip, didn't we?
First ever Chippy Tea road trip.
First ever road trip where we jumped on an aeroplane, Danny's third aeroplane, or 6 if you count return flights. But
yeah, that's right, actually, yeah. Six flight.
Yeah.
I'm basically
6 flights.
A well-travelled veteran at this point.
Oh, just absolutely, like Judith Chalmers now.
I got fingered by a fucking German security guard, so I'm calling that well-travelled.
If you were looking for a title, you've just found it.
That's a story I'll tell you about later. Shoved me sideways.
So
he did.
No lube. So we jumped on a plane and just made the short hop across the channel to Essen in Germany, where we had a wander round, sort of like same day, wasn't it? Just one day show. We wandered around Essen, the SPI show. Yeah, now, SPI is Screen Print Innovations. This is a show born from a group called, I've forgotten what, ESME? ESME?
Avengers.
Fantastic, Paul. Yeah. It was a group of screen print and printing professionals who have started a small show, and it was the start. It was the first show. It is the start of something that will be biannual. We think every 2 years, but my advice would be to do it every year for the first sort of like 3 or 4 to get people interested. But what do I know? And it's basically going back to how I remember exhibitions, shows, trade shows, conferences. Basically, a highlight reel of new innovations, new machinery that's happened.
Yeah.
And I can understand that machinery doesn't come out every year, so the biannual thing I get. You might not have something new every year. Yeah, that's kind of why I think
every 2 year kind of works, I reckon, just because what's going to be innovative next year,
And this goes from... There are trade shows already. We've got Printwear and Promotion in the UK. We've got FESPA, which there seems to be a FESPA every third Tuesday. And the problem with having such a regular occurring show is nothing's new anymore. And from working the other side of shows, so I attend shows, but I also work shows. From working the other side, I know it's damned expensive. If you want to, just the floor space, first of all, is supremely expensive for what is basically 3 square meters of concrete. You have to pay to put carpet down. You have to pay to put lighting up. You have to pay somebody to attend it. You have to pay for electricity, to pay for Wi-Fi. If you want to actually breathe the oxygen while you're stood on the stand, that's extra.
Yep.
And pretty much everything is charged for. And the only people that make money at these shows now are the people that hold the show. Hey, Stephen. Hey, up.
Good day, Stephen.
I can, yeah, it's been a while.
Quack, 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 quack. Shut up, Stephen.
I think you just made the noise of a sea duck.
Oh, yeah, it was a duck noise, wasn't it?
So, it's shows have become really expensive for the exhibitors. And now, if you turn your presence at a show into sales, it's worth it. It's just like a big leaflet drop, no problem. But the last one I went to and worked was Vespa. Now, the Cornet Apollo is like €1 million. So, I mean, that machine is an expensive machine. You've got to pay people to set it up, to move it, and then take it down and move it back again, plus all the space it takes up. If you don't sell one, it's a hell of a gamble. And it's the same for the little guys. The little guys are paying exactly the same money. So what we've seen, I don't know if you've seen it, how many shows you've been to lately, but it's people are taking less and less machines.
Oh, yeah.
I famously remember one in America. The guy just took a video screen. He said, right, we've got these machines. It was a DTG machine that went round. Oval Jet.
Oh,
it was an Oval Jet. I can say that because I don't think they're in business anymore. But basically, they knew the cost of lifting that machine and setting it up in Long Beach was horrendous. So they already had that machine running in a place. So they just set up multiple cameras. So as you walked on the store, you had this massive video wall. This is not like a little TV screen. It's not an iPad on a stick. Massive video wall, and you could control with the joystick where you wanted to look while it was running.
That's a really cool idea, isn't it?
It is a good idea, but if you're going to drop $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 on something, you want to see, feel, touch, and sniff it, really, don't you?
Yeah, in a way, I guess. Yeah, I suppose it's cheaping out a bit, isn't it?
You don't really want to see a video of it, do you? You want to see.
If you've got other people selling DTG autos, if you like, automated DTG carousels, the ones who have actually got one there are going to take that sale out of it. So
yeah, because you can. It's there. It's tactile. You can touch it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my first big show was Vespa in Amsterdam. A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I must admit, we went to Germany, screen print innovations, and it was what I hoped Vespa would be.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I mean, obviously selfishly, I just wanted to see screen print machinery, new screen print machinery, stuff I've never seen before. I want to see machinery or innovations that are going to take the industry forward, and just see what's new, see what's exciting. And if you go into a Vespa, or I don't know, you'll tell me, maybe a Long Beach. If you go into a printwear, forget it. You're not seeing anything. But a Vespa or a Long Beach, you might see a couple of autos. You might see some big tunnels. You'll see a fucking lot of DTG.
DTG and garments, blanks. I know garments are the beating heart. Blanks are the beating heart of the industry. You know, we have to have something to print onto. So I understand there has to be a showcase for them. But in my eyes, I'd like to see a separate showcase.
I quite like how it's sectioned. We've almost got this screen print innovations. It's like, look, this is screen print.
Yeah.
Don't come in with your DTF machines. We don't want to see it.
You want to buy a Fruit at Loom? Go to Fruit at Loom show. But it won't be the screen printer that goes to the Fruit at Loom show because he's got no idea how much you purchased that Fruit at Loom for. Yeah. Basically, your purchasers, your buyers, the people who are buying the product, they're the ones that need to go. And, I'll be honest, most of the garments, there's no real new ones. If they bring out a new garment, they don't wait a year until a trade show to show you the new garment. They knock on your door with a box full of them or some samples of them and go, try these, they're great.
Yeah, so, we give the samples before they come out, a couple of weeks before they come out. My old mucker guy will say, there's something coming this next week. I'm at the box t-shirt or something. Not come out yet. He's going to send me one to stick a logo on and wear. Job done. I don't need to.
The reason is,
I don't need to wait till Birmingham.
It works. That sort of marketing, which it is, it's marketing. It works.
So it's worth a treat, yeah.
If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. And I feel that well, my fear is that's what's going to happen with the trade shows, is that if the companies who go to these shows don't get their return, they'll stop attending.
Yeah.
I know machinery companies are already cutting back. You know,
Well, you can see, yeah,
like,
there's less and
what are we
less
taking? Are we
machines
taking
going.
2 machines? No, we're
Oh,
taking
no,
one.
it's
Are we
terrible.
taking our best one? No, we're taking our little one.
Smallest, yeah. Smallest footprint, less cost.
I think we were talking to the guys over in Portugal at KTK, and they were saying when they took to the show, to the FESPA, they specifically took a machine that will fit in a truck without being disassembled.
Right.
They basically put it on a pallet, put wheels underneath it, wheel it onto the truck,
plug it back in.
wheel it out, plug it in, don't print with it, just make it go around, make it look pretty.
Yeah, to be fair, I remember walking around FESPA, you could see the odd machine. No, in fact, if I'm right off memory, you were printing, and I'm not even sure M&R were printing. M&R could possibly
just
be
going
printing,
round,
I'm not sure.
just going round and round, yeah. And the reason is it's too expensive. You've got to pay someone to print. You've got to pay somebody. You've got to buy blanks. You've got to buy ink. You've got to, and if you're using ink, you've got to have somewhere. Yeah, dryer. It takes gas or electric. Usually electric. Air. You've got to pay for the air. You've got to pay for the electric. You've got to pay for every amp that you use, every flash that you turn on. You know, if you've got to have so many flashes. So I can see why the big companies don't do it. It's because it's damn expensive. And if you now if you throw 200 grand down on a show, then the profit on a machine is so narrow, let's say, you'd have to sell 10 machines. Now, I can't remember the last time any big company sold 10 machines from one show. Now, the argument is exposure. So you might sell 10 machines not directly related to the show, and you could argue that you wouldn't sell them if people thought you weren't there. So I understand that's the sort of marketing thing of, hey, we're here.
Knock-on effect.
Yeah,
sometimes
you don't always see it. Indirect, if you like.
It pays you back in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
But
Otherwise,
still,
people won't do it.
the SPI show was specifically based around printing innovations. So
screen print innovations.
Screen print innovations. So we were looking at everything from bottle printers. The exposure systems, the cleaning systems, and we specifically went to look at the new technology that's come out called MultiMesh. That was from Lucia. Yeah.
Yep.
And if we had to summarize what MultiMesh is in as fewer words as possible, it would be a plastic film where the laser cuts away the pattern to leave behind the mesh.
Yeah, the laser it almost punches. Yeah. There's no such thing that you're getting. You've got a clear plastic sheet, and rather than exposing an emulsion, the laser is punching tiny little. Could you even call them pixels? I guess
squares. Yeah, they're like squares, and they become mesh squares. Yeah,
and the software or the wizardry in the system determines how small or big those squares or pixels are, and this is why it's called multi-mesh, because you can imitate a 43 mesh, a 62, a 77, a 90, or 120, etc. By the size of the square that it's punching out, if you like.
Yeah, you dictate the size of the hole, and you also dictate the size of the gap between the holes, which is what we call mesh.
That's right. Yeah. And how innovative! Genuinely, quite an innovative system. As far as I know, it looks pretty new. I don't think I've seen
I like the
it.
system. I like the idea that the technology is superb. It's in its infancy, so therefore any technology in its infancy has teething problems. It's going to be a learning curve. But if I'd love to have a time machine and fast forward 5 years and see where it is in 5 years' time, because the opportunities of it are great. Now, you could argue, have you seen GoCo Pro?
Yeah, I remember them kind of sliding in my DMs, like, I don't know, a lot of years ago, trying to sell me one.
So people are saying it's like GoCo Pro. I think it's Riso that make them, I'm not sure. I'm trying not to get sued. But the
It was
The
very
theory-
hobby level, that type of system at the time. And it's all, I guess people are saying, oh, is this just a scaled up GoPro Pro?
That's what people were saying to me. Well, the main difference I can differentiate there is the GoPro Pro filled in the holes on a predetermined mesh.
Right.
So the threads were already set at 90 per centimeter, 120 per centimeter, and then the thermal head came along and filled in, printed the emulsion, if you like. And so therefore you couldn't have one screen with different sized openings or meshes.
The GoPro is the Cricut D2M. It's a Cricut D2M, isn't it?
It is,
what it
yeah,
is.
it is actually. That's a great, yeah. D2M obviously is where
Definitely
we print
get
the
sued now.
emulsion. Yeah, we are, definitely, absolutely, yeah. But we haven't used any names yet, I don't think, other than Cricut, and they're not listening, so you're all right.
D2M...
D2M,
making kids from soccer practice up, aren't they?
yeah. Soccer
That
mums.
was actually an Americanism, wasn't it, really?
Well, yeah, but we'll let you get away with it, yeah.
You get the gist.
D2M is a technology that prints emulsion
Directly to the mesh.
onto predetermined mesh holes.
The
So
D2M, we just put standard screens in the D2M.
Put a standard screen in and it prints emulsion and exposes it there and then. So it basically, instead of making a gap with light or making a gap with non-print, it basically doesn't print where we want to push the ink through the holes.
Yeah, it prints the outside. It fills in the surrounding area.
The stencil,
leaves you
yeah.
with a stencil. Yeah.
Yeah, but the actual size of the holes is predetermined by whatever cassette or screen you put in there. So that's the main difference between this new technology we've seen and all the other ones, the different methods of making a screen, which we just said was D2M, GoPro Pro, direct emulsion, capillary film. All these things have been around for a long time. But the MultiMesh is the only one that will allow you to have different sized screen openings within the same frame.
Yeah, it's the first time I thought, as far as imaging, it's like really quite innovative since lasers. Let's talk about the benefit of why we would want to do that. Why do we want different meshes on one screen? What's the point?
Yeah, and that's one of the questions I get asked all the time. Why don't you just make two screens? And the best explanation I could come up with was a photographic tonal image with blocky text underneath. And we'll make it really simple. We'll go black print on a white shirt. We've got a half-tone image of a sweet little puppy, and underneath we've got Fetch Fido in solid impact font. Yeah. Now, the problem for us screen printers is we know what mesh count to use for the half-tone to bring all the dots out. We'll probably use a 90 or even a 120 if we've got really high detail in there. But that 90 is not going to bring out the impact font at the bottom. So we're going to have to use a 43, 55 for the bottom print. We can't use a 55 for the tone because the dots will just fall off. So we're left with the dilemma. And usually our skill is to compromise. Okay, let's compromise on the tone by dropping the mesh count to a 77. The black impact font is still not as black as we want, so we might double stroke.
Yeah.
But all these are options or decisions we make out of our intelligence. And you could argue, well, if we're intelligent enough to make those decisions, why do we need new technology? Well, if we had technology where we didn't have to make that decision, and all in one image with one screen, we could have the top part of the design going through holes that were spaced 120 every centimetre, and the bottom bit of the design going into holes that are spaced at 43 every centimetre. All of a sudden, I've got control of how much ink I push through those holes in certain areas. So I like the theory, the idea of it. Have I printed with it? No, I haven't. I don't know. So I can't tell you if it's good or not from a practicality point of view because I haven't printed with it yet. But I will be doing. I've told Lucia that I'll absolutely try it and see it on how it works on the variety of crap we print on. From a tote shopper bag to a cagoule Whatever the word
cagoule.
that is. A cagoule. A nylon raincoat. Or a Gildan or an AS Colour t-shirt.
I don't know who's printing on a cagoule, but we're brave.
Have you never printed on cagoules?
Oh, I once printed on nylon tote bags and absolutely ruled out ever printing on anything plastic ever again.
I was tasked with finding. We had 3,000 of these rain jackets. They're really paper thin. You put heat anywhere near them, and they just went. They just crumpled up. And the only ink I could find that worked so well, Aquaflex V2.
Yeah, it's very
And
forgiving.
it stuck to them. It didn't come off. It took 24 hours to cure and key onto them. And in that 24 hours, they were everywhere. I mean, every flat surface had a raincoat on it at some point. But it worked. It worked a treat. Yeah, it worked a treat.
Nice. No way.
But that's the first tangent we've gone on for today. So
oh shit, we've got off topic.
I've not done too bad, really. So therefore, I said I would help. There are unanswered questions with this technology, and they're not really negative. They're just unanswered. We've got to look at stencil thickness.
Yeah,
we know that EOM stencil thickness is super important in getting a bright underbase, on laying down the right amount of ink, and how we coat the screen dictates which side of the mesh that EOM is, and we want it on the substrate side, the t-shirt side. We don't want it on the other. Yeah. Now, if we're starting with something that is 50 microns thick constantly, how do we control EOM at either side? A question I can't answer yet. I will ask the question. Tension is another one. We know from like the GoCo Pros and any other tension plastic-based screen, getting the right tension is difficult. Printing with low tension is not possible with the inks that we use right now. Printing one colour is absolutely all day long. All day long we can print one colour, no problem. Yeah. Printing multicolour, adding heat to an equation. If this is a plastic film, how heat resistant is it? And there's only one way to tell, and that's to throw a 6-colour underbase job with multiple flashes and bash it for 1,000 and see what happens. See who breaks first, you or the screen.
Yeah, you've got to same as anything. No, you've got to break a lot of screens before you fine tune and get it right. It was quite an exciting innovation, but that's where it is right now, and I can't wait to see where it develops and see what we end up with in, like, say, 5 years' time.
In 5 years, I'd love to see where it is in 5 years' time. And my advice would be to, open it up to people to play with different substrates.
They've got to get it out there, haven't they? They've just got to get it in print shops. It's pointless pissing about trying to do it all in house. Just give it to print shops who are going to test it and break it. Let people break it. Only way to find out.
Well, some of the questions I got was why. The system's not broken. Why are we doing it? We've got a perfectly great system of putting an image on a screen. So why do we want to change that? And it's basically the water usage, chemical usage, and stock of actual frames. They're the 3 big winners straight away.
Yeah, I mean
the system's great, isn't it, for making a screen, but you have to have photosensitive chemicals. You have to have a dark room. You have to have a really good supply of water, and it's a skilled process: coating, making, rinsing, developing.
The louche is very similar to I don't know what you call them, but the frames you get where you put your sheet with plastic strips and then you clamp it in side at a time.
So the eco frames, the Newman rollers, but they're more of a round frame.
Yeah,
tension
it's not
that way.
Pull it tight.
The eco snap frames. Clip them in. Eco snap frames. Yeah,
that's literally the system. It's
Sherlock. I think they were Sherlock. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what we're doing. So those those plastic sheets come with clips. You literally put them into your frame, clip them in place, burn your image, or literally just punch your image. I suppose we'd have to start calling it punch your image.
I would say burn. I think burn's a good. Although we use burn for exposure on normal screens, I think it is engrave.
Well, it is. It's a late.
I don't know. It's engrave. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it? It's just semantics.
We can call it
really.
whatever you want.
The master system, so the benefit. I mean, obviously, like you've got. If the cost of the actual plastic sheets is low enough, you're almost like, all right, well, we've done this job. Pull it out, put a new one in. Do whatever's next. You won't need anywhere near the level of
€6, I think we had it as.
That rings a bell. €6,
yeah. But this is not an advert for them, so
that was probably the star of the show, if you want to call it that.
It's one of the reasons we went, because it piqued both our interest in there. It was like, whoa, hang on, does this work? Is it just salesman's bullshit? Will it work? Some of the downside, obviously, it's €100,000 laser that cuts it out. But I know shitloads of firms now with 1 and 2 presses who are spending €120,000 on a laser on normal direct emulsion.
Yeah.
So it's a viable option to use laser. I love laser as a way of making a screen, engraving a screen.
I mean, if we had to say if there was anybody to rival Lucia's innovation at the show, the laser we saw, and I'm gonna have to pull my phone up to look at the image to tell you what it was, unless you remember the name.
I think it was CST Grunig.
It was on the Grunig stand, and it was
a Syntronic, I think.
Syntronic, yeah. So it was on the Grunig stand, and it was on Syntronic Stencil Master. The screens, that thing was explosion. The detail was just mind blowing. And to be honest, is it necessarily designed for textiles? No, it's designed for way more advanced circuitry and
flat stuff,
finest of detail. But man, that's such a mind blowing technology. And the big innovation in that was the LED technology, the light. What would we call it? The gamut, the
bandwidth. I think the
bandwidth probably good.
The wavelength.
The wavelength or the bandwidth of the LED diode was less restrictive. So LED exposure units are quite restrictive in the emulsion we use. We have to find an emulsion that works with our LED. Whereas this had 4 different LEDs at a variety of bandwidths or wavelengths. So you had a much wider range of light exposure, which means it works with a lot more emulsion. And my God, that thing was impressive. I must admit, I know we went to see the Lucia for the most part, but that stole the show for me. I was so
and we were walking out, weren't we? And we didn't realise what it was. It was
we
basically
almost missed it.
Yeah, we were just walking past it.
I thought it was a washout booth or something.
No, this is why sometimes trade shows are really good. You get a passionate sales guy, and we had a passionate sales guy who, was willing to tell us everything about it, whether we asked about it or not.
Chat with us.
He did, yeah.
No, but it wasn't too pushy, was it? It was super informative.
No, and if I could sort of summarise what it actually was, we'd have to go back to metal halide. So metal halide light was the light source of choice for a long time. This is an arc light that uses shitloads of electricity, gets really hot, has a shelf life with the bulb. But it was because of the broad spectrum, and bear in mind, right now we use a very narrow spectrum. This spectrum would start at about 380 nanometers all the way up to about 410, 415. And that would cover almost every emulsion and give a really good, solid, thorough exposure of your photochemical.
Yeah.
Along comes LED. Now, in the beginning, we tried to find an LED that would do multi-spectrum, multi-wavelength, but it didn't work. We got low energy at every one of them, so we got 4 bad ones.
Yeah.
And then we sort of settled between us and the chemical companies that make the emulsion. Right, let's concentrate on 405. 405 nanometers is the size of the wavelength of light that we need, which will hit the emulsion all the way through from the front to the back. Yeah. And so what we got was a very good, very strong, don't need cooling, LEDs in that 405 wavelength. And they don't start at 380 and finish at 420 like the old metal halide. When they come on, they're 405. When they go off, they're 0. So it's a very, very binary sort of way of exposing the screen. It's great. And we now have PHU emulsions, which are tuned to that particular frequency, and it works great.
Oh, yeah. My LED system works fantastic.
With your emulsion.
With the help of Dean, picking the right emulsion, going through with it. Absolutely fantastic at Pyramid. Our mate Dean at Pyramid.
Our mate Dean at Pyramid, yeah. Who will basically come into your shop and fine-tune your emulsion to your specific environment and the wavelength that you've got on your lights, whether it's 405, whether it's 380, whatever it is, he'll know and dial it in for you.
So
quick shout out to Dean there.
Thoroughly deserved. But this is why we do. I hear shops. There's a couple of shops that spring to mind who have had LED systems who would like to find, who are actively looking for a metal halide on market. You know,
they want to go back to it because it's such a thorough exposure. Such a thorough cooking of the emulsion that they miss that. They don't want that short, sharp burst of a specific beam of light. They want that wider spectrum. And the Syntronic that we saw had, were it 4 distinct LED wavelengths?
Off the top of my head, I think it was 4 different. Basically, it had 4 different LEDs inside one little thingy. And,
now, this wasn't a floodlight. This was a laser system. So this was turning the lights on and off at every pixel, if you like. It's not quite technically true, but if we think about it as turning light on for a pixel and off for a pixel, on for a pixel and off for a pixel as it travels along, then this would basically write the image in light rather than using a shadow to block out light from a floodlight. But yeah, really impressive. The results were awesome. Some of the, you've got some pictures.
I'll flash up some images to fill this space because I really couldn't take pictures that did it justice either. Because my phone went blurry, you couldn't focus in the detail. You couldn't get close enough and get a good focus. That's how impressive it was.
Yeah, I loved the sort of like the negative space that it left behind. So not just revealing a positive line, but actually revealing a negative line, which is like a gap, like a trap line in a base. And I loved that. I loved that sort of that level of detail.
Oh, madness! That was so impressive.
Yeah.
So we saw the Lucia, we saw the Syntronic, multi-laser system. What else stood out?
There was a very small. I think it was a dog.
Oh, was it dog?
It might have been Shell. Yeah. We saw a little Impro developing unit.
That's right. Yeah.
It's now these have been around for a while, and the best use I've seen of these was over in Belgium, in Netherlands, a place Grandbosch, and they had this unit coming out of their darkroom. So basically, one side of it was in the darkroom, the other side of it was in the screen room.
Yeah,
and it's a single chamber developing unit. Now they're not new in their own at all. They've been around for such a long time. Single chamber, the tower unit where the tower moves and the screen's stable, the cabinet where the screen moves in and comes out again. Both have been around for a long time, both successful. But what we liked about this was, number one, the footprint. It was tiny, wasn't it? I think from end to end was about 1.5 meters. It only went about 400 mil left back to front. And it was basically a jet wash in a box, if we want to really simplify it.
Yeah, if you want to not do it justice, but
if you're trying to describe without seeing it what it is, it's jet wash in a box. But the beauty of it was the controllability of the pressure.
Yeah, it was a jet wash, but you could dial it where you want, which allowed you to use it, which made it multifunctional.
Yeah.
Essentially,
what would you use that for?
Developing.
Okay, so low pressure, develop, nice and slow. Put the exposed screen in one side, comes out the other side, develops. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've also got the option of now depends why you want to use it really. you could literally just have a dip tank to the side, dip your finished screens in, put it back in the system, and let it power wash it. Job done. So,
Was that to clean ink off?
to clean ink and emulsion.
So it's
When
a
I
strip.
say to clean ink, I mean yes, a stripper. When I say cleaning, cars
So
as much.
We went to Germany and saw a stripper, basically, yeah?
We went to Germany and saw a stripper. You had that wrote down for weeks, you. And yeah, you've been waiting. I wonder why you were so desperate to do an episode. You know I'm busy, Tony. You're like, I've got to use this joke. Come on, Daddy, just do one.
Just one. I just want one. Your line should have been, no, Tony, that was Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, with Ayla in Amsterdam, so. Yeah, so for me, it would have been a developer and a stripper, basically. A 2-in-1 system, in theory, the way it works. It looks like it had a good flow. Apparently, it has a filtration system at bottom, so you don't have to worry about developing in mucky, chemically water.
So this I've seen this sort of system before, and I was with Kevin Cowth, the emulsion guru in America, and we had one of these units, and the customer said, "Can I use this for stripping and developing?" And instantly, the guy's response was, "Absolutely not. No,
you don't want to mix
you
chemicals.
cannot contaminate your developing unit with stripping chemicals, because if you get any stripping chemicals on the screen that you want to develop, it's going to be ruined." And I fully agreed with him. However, what made this different was, at the cost of higher water usage, there was no tank at the bottom.
No.
So what that means is
away.
it didn't store any dirty chemicals, whereas the big units, the big car wash units, whether they're 3 or 5 chambers, one of their selling points is reducing the water usage. So the initial soaking of water is done from a tank at the bottom. So we're reusing just water to wet, and then the final rinse is fresh water. So the reduction in usage, actual consumption of water, is about 90%. So they're a great selling point if you're paying for water. This unit, I saw 3 uses. So the number 1 use you've already said, which was developing. Number 2 use, which is the stripping, which is removing ink and emulsion. But I think there was a 3rd usage, and this was in a water-based shop. The removal of water-based ink.
That's you'd have to be a water-based printer to come up with that concept.
Yeah.
But
a water-based shop
with that.
Grandbosch in Netherlands, they are a water-based shop, and that's what they use it for. So at the end of the day, when the job's finished, they will take out the screens, straight in there. It queues through. Nobody stood there with a jet wash. Nobody's getting covered in crap.
Splashed. That was one of my biggest things. I used to hate wrapping up a job at water-based, because I'd go take my screen, get as much water-based out. It'd already started gumming up. Power washing it, bits flicking past, and you ended up with it everywhere. I hated that aspect. Just go put it in a little machine, press go, and walk off. Brilliant idea.
That was a great idea, and I quite like that idea. And again, the risk of contamination is there, but it's low because there is no solid stored reusable water in the bottom.
No, so
it's only the same as you only having 1 washout tank, and in your shop, you've only got 1 washout booth. Yeah, so you do develop where you strip.
Yeah, I do, but I've got an invoice in my emails right now. So, but yes, you're right.
Most people, 2's a luxury. Two's nice to have, but it's a bit of a luxury. It takes up space. It takes up, and you have to buy it. You have to pay for it, and it's a nice luxury to have. But I would say 70% of shops I go to only have 1.
Yeah,
10%. 10% are still doing it in Bath. Don't forget.
Some people are taking them to the car wash.
Yeah. I was going to say something, then I held it back.
I'm trying to think of a really rude joke.
No.
So I don't know what you were going to say.
Just offensive, but never mind.
Hashtag unfiltered.
Yeah.
So this unit was quite impressive. Another thing that sort of stood out to me, and I don't know if this was just salesman bullshit, I don't know if this was actually innovative, or if it was just salesman's talk, but the jets were either side, and there's an equal pressure either side. So if you imagine your mesh, if you're blasting from one side, you're deforming that mesh, which can obviously over time
Lose tension.
You'll lose tension. Lose tension. So you're just pulling it away from the screen. Whereas this was an equal blast from the side, so it was always minimal effect on tension, which I thought was quite cool.
Although that wasn't salesman's bullshit, it is the core staple of all of the machines that do that.
They're all doing that.
They all have them at both sides pointing, and the idea is to get them to meet.
Exactly.
And so you're basically shaving the emulsion off rather than. They're not always perfect, so you do get some mesh distortion, but they're very good at keeping the tension on mesh.
Yeah, so I'm impressed by that machine actually. I mean, let's be honest, we went to Germany, and I went to Germany, me, Danny at Flippin' Sweet, not actually expected to have any money in my bank to be able to afford anything from that show. But if there was anything that I took away from that show where I thought, actually, I would like to invest in that, it was that machine. And it did email me, actually. He hadn't emailed me a price, but he's emailed me the sales jargon and the technical documents and stuff.
Classic salesman technique, yeah. I
would be interested to see how much it is. But anyway, well, that's for a little later on. But yeah, if there was anything I would have walked, if I could have walked away with anything from that shop, that was it. If money was no object, and I walked away with that 4 laser machine.
To make 10 screens a day, though.
I don't give a shit. Money's no object.
Well, yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah.
I'd have made circuit board screens just for my own satisfaction.
To print
I
on a
wouldn't have been able to
t-shirt.
print them. No, just to hang them up.
Yeah, I think as the show goes, to say that's the inauguration one, the first one, then yeah, I've got good hopes for that. That's a show I'd like to go to. It reminds me of a fledgling IPMA show. Yeah. So if we pumped it full of steroids, it'd become IPMA, which is the one that happens every 4 years, which is great. It's not every second Tuesday, and has everything that you could possibly think of to do with machinery within the garment manufacturing sort of circle. So that's almost too big. This is a show that takes you 10 days to walk around, and it's only on for 6.
I don't want to miss it, Ma. I would like to go, because I did miss it. It was recent. I would like to go to the next one.
I think the next one's 27 in Hanover, where our mate Lucas is at Timeless.
I must admit, my trade show days, if I was to go to, I think I would be tempted to go to Innovations every couple of years. As long as there's new stuff coming on, and because this was the very first, it can only get better. If I'm sure they've took a lot from that, they've learned, and it'll be a bigger, better show. And also a little bit of noise has been created, so other manufacturers, other companies with innovations might go, "Oh, showcase it here now," And maybe, I don't know, maybe the cost of entry is a little bit more palatable.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a lot more.
With it being a baby show, you'd expect it to be a little bit.
Well, without it having to fund a massive organisation with all its costs, it doesn't have to fund that. All it has to do is fund the cost of the show itself.
Yeah. So, generally, overall, what a bloody good show! All right,
a good visit.
It ticked a box that Fespa didn't. If I'm totally honest, with all due respect,
I think we did right. We flew in, flew out. It was a 1-day thing. We didn't need any more time than that. That was all the time we needed.
No, it was a 1-day show. You needed a few hours walk around.
And to just see people and see what was available, and look at different industries that are screen printing. The bottle printing, the sticker printing. The full line of sticker printing. Yeah, I thought that had all gone digital. I thought that was pure digital now, but that was with the camera registration system, all self-adjusting, but with a screen. It was great. Yeah. I think that was who's that? INO print.
Was it INO?
INO, yeah.
All right, no, I'm thinking not related to what I'm thinking. But anyway,
not the transfer print that you're thinking. That's INO print.
But the machine was fantastic. It was almost like this big, long production line, and it was like a cassette, like a tape, an old tape where
the
roll was wound round one end, and as it met in middle, it was screen printed, came back round, cured, and then come out at the other end, and you got your sticker. I think the only thing missing from that machine was like a VersaCam on end. to cut out. You know,
I think it had a die cut, didn't it, on it?
Did it actually have a die cut? I
So it was actually stamping like that.
Oh, it was right.
Instead of running a blade round, it was because they were all circular stickers.
It
had die cut, I think, stamping them out.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how die cut works. It's exactly like that, by the way.
Oh yeah, just like that. I really wanted to get into die cut one time. I was doing slip mats, and they're very hard to source in UK. Good ones. The material's shit, but you get now in UK. I did find a supply in America, and in the middle of COVID, the customs and import duty tax, whatever you pay, was so astronomical that the price just to get it out of customs was more than the cost of buying a box full of slip mats. But they were making really good, thick felt slip mats in America. And anyway, I packed that in because it just wasn't worth the cost. But I did think as an alternative, could I get a die cut to cut my own? And I was going to experiment with lots of different materials. So yeah, I quite liked the old die cut thing. I'm sure you could make something quite simple if you were.
Yeah, it won't be difficult, would it, really? Yeah,
no,
yeah.
It's only a stamp, isn't it? It's only an hydraulic stamp.
It is really, yeah. It is really. It's like a heat press, really.
Yeah. So, did we take anything else away? Was that it? We saw 3 things. I feel like we saw more, but we're missing stuff out.
We saw a lot more, but I think those were the sort of like the takeaways that we got from it. Was like, yeah, actually, nice to see some innovations. I go to a lot of shows, and it's a lot same old. So to see something new that wasn't DTF, was there any DTF there?
No. This was genuinely
it was
a
screen
print show, which was so nice because we've been to.
So do you think it's time? Do you think it's time then that DTF had its own breakaway show? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I understand Vespa's a bit of everything now. I guess that's how it is. But it was.
Well, I'm sure FESPA stands for Federation of European Screen Print Associations or something. So the SP in Vespa, I'm sure it means screen print. I'll have to check that, but I think it does.
Yeah, well.
But then again, if the E stands for European, why are we having a Mexico show? So anye, we're not digging at Vespa. We're not digging at Vespa.
Let's not get sued again.
No.
I like the idea that there is a dedicated trade show for embroidery, screen print, DTF. What's that other one? DTG.
DTG.
DTG, do you think it's dying? Do you think it's dead at water?
Listen, sometimes your opinion depends on which direction you've been listening to. And like a news channel. Do you know what I mean? If you listen to a certain news channel, you get a certain version. And I've had a couple of weeks where I've been really exposed to hybrid.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so screen printed base with digital on top.
Yeah, and I've had this opinion that the hybrid died probably about 2 years ago.
It seems to be a big thing, not that long back, and then it's like
it's almost really like the
traction hadn't really took off.
The machine manufacturers are pushing hybrid onto us screen printers, and we push back and go, "That's not what we want. We want DTF, we want DTG, but we don't want the mix of the two."
Do you know where I think you see more of it? Transfers.
Yeah.
Screen printed hybrid transfers. That
DTS.
DTS, if that's is that digitally transferred screen.
No, Drive to Survive, obviously.
There you go. Get your dapper. Oh, God.
No, DTS is digital transfer screen. That was around a long time before DTF, and the typical use of DTS was a Sakurai, a Ricoh, and a powder shaker from our mate in Portugal, Ricardo.
Oh, do you know, that brings back. Let me come back to that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you come back to that. So, did you have a flash of inspiration then? I
realised I said something earlier. I said, "Oh, if I had some money and I could walk away with anything from show," completely forgetting I actually did walk away with something from show. I made a purchase at the show. I completely forgot to tell you.
So, what it would install, let's say we get an A3 piece of carrier film, paper, pet film, whatever you want to call it. We'll run it through a Ricoh, which is a high quality, multicolored digital page printer, like an office printer, but on steroids, probably about 250 grams worth. So it'll run through at a phenomenal speed, high quality. You then take that stack of perfectly sized A3 paper, you load it into your Sakurai, which is a single color screen printer.
Yeah.
And then that would print like 3,000 an hour with white backing, Aquaflex or Plastisol or whatever, on top of your CMYK image that you printed. And then here, presto, you have a digitally printed screen transfer.
Yeah.
Now, the people that you would use these, the first people that really got into these were the bag printers. So the bag printers soon realized that, hang on, I only need 500 of these high quality photographic images onto a darker bag. I can't directly screen print them. The quality is too high and the bag quality is too low. So what can I do? Screen print them. Okay, well, to buy screen printed transfers, there's these minimums of 10, 15,000. I don't want that many. I want 500. Yeah. So they would set up their little printing lines, which were great because they had the digital aspect and the screen, the white, was supplied by screen. So hybrid, if you like, but it came first. And then along came DTF, which somebody said, well, why are we wasting our time separating the white and the colour? Let's just put the white through a print head and do the whole thing in one go. And hence the DTF revolution is here. History lesson, sorry. I went off.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Well, good that. The Sakurai.
Sakurai. So I started in flat stock. The company I started with had textiles on one floor and flat stock on another floor. So we would print everything from scratch cards to point of sale, POS, anything that went into an Asda store or a Fina, Petrofina. I think they've gone now, Fina, petrol stations. And any point of sale that you saw, like even from Please Pay Here, and if they've got 1,000 petrol stations up and down the country, then they might have two of those. That's 2,000 boards that say POS, that say Please Pay Here. And obviously that point of sale is still a big market, but it's pretty much gone digital now.
It's the sign world must be 99% digital now.
Digital got faster. This is the whole point of digital. It applies to textile screen and to flat stock screen. It was slower. It cost more money, but the quality was there. So out of our triangle, our three of cheap, fast, and good, it hit the good, but it didn't hit the cheap and fast.
No.
Well, pretty much it caught up with the fast, and it overtook the fast. It's suddenly become faster. It's always been better. Then all we had to do was work on getting it cheaper. And as soon as we ticked all three, screen print, we're like, why would you bother with screen print? Digital now is cheaper, faster, and better than analog screen print.
Do you know, there's a factory up road from me, and they screen print road signs.
Still screen print road signs onto the reflective stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do the stickers for road signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did sticker them at one point.
Black vinyl, yeah. Depends on how many you get. So if you think that, road signs with instructions on, so like turn left, you want shitloads of them, so you'll screen print them.
Yeah,
but ones that say
stuff.
Bridtown Centre this way,
you only need one, aren't you? Yeah.
They're usually black vinyl onto reflective, 3M reflective onto straight metal. I used to do the roundabout signs as well. They were good.
Roundabout.
When you sponsor a roundabout.
I feel like I've seen it where there'll be some.
You have flipping sweet on roundabout into Brid.
Right.
Then you could. We used to go around and do that.
Bit of VersaCamp.
Sort of, yeah. Straight vinyl, but yeah.
Can you even buy a VersaCamp now? Have we all converted to DTFs?
I can't see much point in buying a VersaCam for what it called? HTV?
Textiles, forget it.
HTV, then no.
Completely dead.
But
no.
for cutting vinyl,
Signs
but
stuff.
you'd buy a Graphtec, you'd buy a bigger, larger format one that didn't print.
When I was sort of getting out of that scene, UV were just about coming on to scene, and the the solvent printers. What?
Ecosol.
Ecosol. Oh, I miss that smell though. I must admit that was such a nice smell. I have flashbacks every now and again of a past life, and I smell that vinyl and the solvents evaporating.
I had
mean,
a
it gives me heart
year's break.
palpitations, 'cause
I know,
of
yeah, it makes
bankruptcy
me go
people.
like that.
Apart from that,
I had a year's break and went and worked in a sign shop for just over a year. And I loved it. It was on a big flat table doing like 4x6, 8x4 boards, laminating, doing full illuminated signs. I loved it. Absolutely loved that creative side of making signs.
I'll tell you what we used to do. This is going really back. I used to work for a little shop, and we used to make number plates. All dodgy. None of them were
I used to screen print them.
Really?
Yeah. So you know the car dealership at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's screen printed before you put
So
the
you
numbers on.
just screen right, and then we put yeah.
So MB Car Garage would come and say, okay, well, we want 500.
Yeah,
3
'cause we
colours.
just put
And we got a little jig. This was the most basic little jig with a hinge, vinyl ink, and you've got a 3-way stop. You put it in, print all day fucking long, just printing little tiny things like that, all day long. 3 colours.
Wow. So people used to come to us, and you'd buy the reflective backing, and then you buy like a hard acrylic, which had a sticky back. You took the sticky back on, you put your vinyl on the reflective, and then you put it through a metal roller. We used to do them all day long. With my little GX24. But then it's turned into, kid wants one for his bedroom with Thomas Tank on. So we'd run it through large format with a fully printed
clear
Ben's bedroom, and then roll it on. And we sold so many, made a fortune off them. It was such a good thing at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a market still. Maybe I've just gave somebody.
You can't do it now, can you? Because so many people were doing it that the false plates were horrendous. No, false plates.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of them.
Well, you can't do it now. So now, if you look on every number plate, there is a postcode of the person that made it.
Yeah, officially. Well, we were supposed to be registered and licensed. By the way, this was not my business. I just worked for someone. Before you go try to sue me.
Disclaimer, yeah.
Yeah. Before you start giving it big un. He was supposed to be, and I think he probably did it by books 1 year, and then just like pretended, oh yeah, I've got a license, And he never really did. But yeah, even back then you had to be licensed to make number plates. So. Anyway, yeah, that was a tangent, wasn't it? What were we talking about?
Did well there. Can't remember.
Anyway, yeah, that single screen print press basically, where you put a screen in, it comes down, prints, goes up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
you saw a lot of flat stock, etc., etc.
MultiMesh. MultiMesh had one.
This is where we're going to. So
that's how they were testing it. Yeah,
that's how they were showing it in action. They were just printing a black and white image through one of them little, whatever you called it.
Yeah. It was printed badly on a black image on a white shirt, but it didn't show it to its best ability.
It didn't sell it, did it? It didn't sell it. But
if we're honest, no.
Sometimes you walk around, when you buy an house. I've done that. I bought an house now. You walk around and you look and you think, this is minging. Look at the state of it. Look at that wallpaper. But you see the potential.
The potential.
That's what that was. Yeah, that print didn't exactly sell it to me. But you see the potential of the technology, big style.
Yeah.
Like, it's very impressive. So, let's draw a line into it. We've done Germany.
We've been to Germany.
Did we have any fun stories? We've done the the innovations were all good and well, but did we do out fun? We got pissed a little bit, didn't we?
We had a couple of beers. We got tipsy. You got accosted going out.
I got fondled through customs. I got harassed.
You've got a don't fuck with me face, haven't you? Basically.
Well, apparently I've got the opposite because people do.
The German border patrol did not like the look of you whatsoever.
And it wasn't just one. There were multiple of them. We were like,
I mean, I don't know whether you've ever put any association to it, but you do realise I went through first, and every time I went through, I know the German for he's fucking dodgy.
No, is that what it was? Check in.
No, they did take a dislike to you, didn't they? As you walked through it, like, "Is this your bag?" Yeah.
Well, it would be before
that was the response, wasn't it? Belt. Oh, take your belt off.
The bloke got through a scanner. Bear in mind, you get to the thing, you put your stuff in box, and I said, "Oh, do you want me to take my electrics out? Do you want me to take my belt off? Do I need to take my shoes off?" I was like, "No, don't worry." I thought, all right, no worries. Walk through the scanner. The bloke pulls me out, and he was said something to me, and I said, "Oh, English. You speak English?" And he went, "Yeah," and then carried on speaking in German. And it was like, it kept pointing, and I said, "Oh," eventually I worked out, belt. "Oh, you want me to take my belt off?" He said, No. And then he kept pointing, belt. I don't mind taking it off. No. Eventually, he like opened it up, started fondling about and stuff. Hands down kegs, everything. And I thought, why didn't you just say? And anyway, it said, "Right, go on then." Like, annoyed at me as if I'd done something wrong. So that was the first encounter. Then we get the box comes along. I get my bag out. She pulls it to one side and starts sticking wand in, trying to find out suspicious. Then she takes the box and walks off to the scanner, puts it through the scanner. She looked at the screen and then she turned back and looked at me. She just stared me out, and I'm stood there thinking, what? And eventually I just went, "What? Am I all right? Can I go?" And then she got the box, picked up, slammed it down, said, "Okay." What did I do wrong?
Proper dislike to you. Yeah.
I think there was a test. I think we were trying to see if
you'd kick off.
I acted shifty. And I guess I passed the test.
You look shifty.
I got home anyway. Yeah.
Obviously not a virgin, but you got home.
I got home and we what do they call that? German sausage schnitzel.
Worst. It was the worst experience ever.
Worst flight of my life.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a trip to Germany. I think that was
that covers it, doesn't it?
That was a be all and end all, wasn't it?
That's it. Never off to Germany again.
We will. We'll go again.
Yeah, I'm
got to go back just to apologise, don't we? Really?
Yeah. I would like to go to Screen Printing Innovations too. I think.
Yeah, in a couple of years' time, it should be good. I think. Yeah. I hope that it's, more people get there. There's still some space to be filled, so
yeah,
I'm all for it.
I'd like to go to Italy, and then I'd like to go to Long Beach, and then I think I'd be okay to say I've sort of ticked those boxes. I've witnessed it, I've seen it, and then I'll go back in 10 years.
Yeah. Well, we'll give a little life update on Long Beach then, won't we?
Aye, so the next topic is let's just have a bit of a life update.
We'll have a bit of a life update on Long Beach. I won't be going to Long Beach because I applied for a visa again and got rejected again. So my American chapter is firmly closed right now. For, I don't know, I've obviously breached some visa regulations somewhere and they're not happy with me. And as it stands now, America's not on my list.
Nope, that's it.
Which is gutting, really, because I've got a lot of friends in America that I'd love to go and see and catch up. There are some other options I can look at, breaking in through that southern border, which appears to be a little bit...
Oh, you're at climbing walls.
Just in case anybody's watching. I'm not doing that, honestly.
A little bit of visa people watching. That's it. Definitely not going now.
So when I finally get to America, I'll be like, "So do you remember this episode here where you were on about getting fingered in Germany?" I think was the title. Yeah.
And he told us that episode.
At 1 hour and 4 minutes, you said you were going over the wall at the border. So
what a shitty, sad time, really, because it's been a big part of your life, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, huge part. Got some really good friends over there. So there are some options available that we can still look at. But for the minute, the door's closed but not locked.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. A bit of optimism.
Yeah. Always.
But, as I always say, as one door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
More time to spend in Europe, other continents, and the UK.
Do a lot more in Europe. Still got going back to Brazil in a couple of weeks' time. Got a big job over there. So yeah, still doing little bits and pieces. Still looking at other options to hit Europe as much as possible. and see what comes off from that.
Yeah. So if anybody would like some consulting from Palm Print Consultants, get in touch, and I can vouch because
Yes, because actually, yeah, we saw each other on a professional capacity, didn't we?
yeah, I officially hired Palm Print Consultant Services to help out our new starter, my new. It didn't actually intend. I don't know if I've actually intended to hire a press operator necessarily.
You didn't. You absolutely
And
didn't.
that's what it's turned into.
Yeah. That was my advice to you. Was don't get another Screen Goblin. Don't make another Screen Goblin. And I know you now, and I know it was really, really difficult for you to hand over that press to someone else.
I can't even explain it.
I know. I could see it. I know exactly why you were hiding upstairs. It was really difficult in that. That's not how I do that. That's not how I do that. I don't want to do it like that.
Yeah.
That's not how we do that. I don't want him to do that. That's not how I do that. Which, I agree, but you've got your own ways. That's fine. Let's get the fundamentals in there. And that's what we did. We taught Dan. Dan's a great guy. I can't believe there's only two of you work there and you're both called fucking Dan. Come on. I'd have made him change his name before. Do you want the job? Yeah. How badly do you want the job? Do you have a middle name? What were you called at school?
How do you fancy the name Ben?
Yeah. You look like a Ben.
A bender. Hashtag cancelled again, folks. Again,
yeah.
Tony.
I know, yeah. We can edit that bit out. We won't, but we can.
I can't be asked with editing, Tony.
I know,
I spent too many hours of my time. If this episode's going out, I've had enough of it.
It should do. So you now have a press operator. I saw a little post you did the other day, which was basically he's running the press with your input, but that was the whole point.
No, Tony. He's now setting up jobs, multicolour, shouting me down to look at it, and it's in reg. It's perfect. He's doing a test print. I'm checking it, and I'm saying, right, rock and roll, off you go. Now, I thought, I mean, you came and you did a week with us. Or you did a week with Dan, pretty much a week. And did I really expect to walk away from, come in the next week and just say, right, crack on, Dan? I didn't expect that. I knew it would help.
You asked me though. You said,
I said, I think?
Do you think? How long do you think it will take you to get Dan to a point where it can run a press unsupervised? And I said, if I can't do it in a week, I'm not worth my salt, basically.
Yeah, and this is where the shift changed, because I thought, maybe I can let somebody touch me press, and 100% delivered. Dan now operates that press downstairs. Not only does Dan operate that press downstairs, and not only was I absolutely chuffed to bits to have employed Tony, and if anybody has any doubts and says, it's profitable, it makes you money. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's an investment. It makes so much money for you, to the point that I've got a new starter in 1st of August, and Tony's coming back without a second's hesitation. Anybody now who comes to work at Flipping Sweet will go through a crash course with Tony, because
it pays for itself. Yeah,
it's almost achieved what I probably still would. I mean, I probably wouldn't have achieved in 6 months what you achieved in a week, because that initial. So Dan was the first person I've ever let touch a press. I said to you, I don't think I could have done that in 6 months. It might not have ever happened. Because could I have ever had the confidence to say, go on, you load them shirts, you set that job up? I would have always had me eye in and my hands, and I've always been involved to the point, at some point, I'd have gone, I better do this. It's
quicker, it's easier for me to do this.
Yeah.
It's easier than me showing you. It's me doing it for you. Yeah. And this is sort of something I try and get across to people, in that you know how to print. Yeah, your prints are awesome. The quality is top notch. You won't let anything come out of your shop that's not 100%. And so there's nothing I can do to teach you how to print. So why did I come to you? Because you can't teach what you know. It's very difficult to pass that skill on. it's hard for you to pass on. It's very similar to Alex at Supreme. When he got me and rang me up and said, Tony, can you come and teach that print? I'm like, really? No. He went, Tony, I know what I'm doing, but I can't put it into words. And I don't have the patience because I know how much pressure I'm under to get this delivered.
I think,
and so I'll just jump the teaching. Yeah, I'll just jump the teaching and go straight into this. Somebody at the door, yeah. It's probably window cleaner.
Hey, what window cleaner?
It's window cleaner. How much do I owe you?
You'd think they'd have a card machine or something by now, wouldn't you?
Cash money.
Yeah, well, you can. It won't be here forever. I'll have to edit this little interruption out because I've lost my train of thought.
We were talking about training. So basically,
the big thing
with you and Alex, with a very similar sort of thing. You both know what you're doing. You don't need any input from me. I'm not there to teach you anything.
No.
However, what you know, transferring a skill is actually a skill. And a couple of people have said it to me. It's not the skill. It's the method of moving that skill from one place to another, of transferring a skill from your head into the head of the new guy.
Yeah. And even if I had that skill, I don't have the time. That's a big thing.
You're under so much pressure, yeah.
Yeah. I bet this is why I could say I didn't have the time to get down to that place in 6 months. So in that respect, I mean, it's such a no-brainer. But I've got a new starter again in August. Chloe's going to join the team Chloe's actually worked with us for years now. She's our seamstress, so she does all our sewing work. But she dips in and out. It's casual work. She comes in when it's needed. She does the odd day or two. But now she's going to join Team Flipping Sweet. There's another full-time staff member. Well,
full-time?
Not quite full-time, but
okay.
3 or 4 days a week, building up to full-time. And my initial thought was, Chloe, we're going to come in, do the sewing, do all the finishing, from sewing, net labelling, folding, bagging, etc., etc. But no, let's cross-train. Let's get her on press. Let's get her up to speed on press. What if Dan's sick? What if I want them both to run the press together? What if I want someone to go make me some screens or mix me some inks or etc., etc.? The more production taken off my hands, the more time I sit in front of this laptop doing stupid podcasts with Tony. No, not really. Growing a business. Is there any podcasts left? Shirt stores. Shirt
still does it, but it's only one of them, isn't it? So
I don't really keep up anyway. But so yeah, that was that. So yeah.
I recently saw something which was it was an Americanism, but we'll go with it anyway. Can your business withstand the 2-week vacation test?
Oh, that's an interesting
concept. The 2-week vacation test is if you went on holiday for 2 weeks and you didn't take your phone and you never answered your emails, would your business still be there at the end of 2 weeks?
Well, this is quite similar to the catalyst that made me pick up the phone and say, come on, right, can you come actually work with me now, Tony? Can I actually pay you to work with me officially? And the catalyst was basically that conversation. Ailey said to me, look, you know, in the near future, maybe as close as next year, maybe even by end of year, you have to take time off. For whatever. Life will throw things at you. You will have to. But if I'm not in this shop, the door's locked, the lights are off, the power's off, no what's happening. No money's been made, no production whatsoever.
But money still goes out.
What a idiotic thing that I've done all these years to be in that position. I should have had, there should be times where if I don't turn up, Dan and Chloe let themselves in and just crack on. And that's what I'm building towards. And you've super speeded that up. You've fast-tracked that for me.
And remember the sort of like the realisation in your eyes and your voice, which was basically I came for a day out to Brid.
Yeah, you did sort of pre-turning up, yeah.
And just ran the press for you, not with you. And it was like, although you were upstairs on your computer, I could hear the cogs clicking in your mind going, fuck, that machine's running and I'm not at it. The implications of this are huge. I don't have to be stood here tied to this press the whole time. And, you know, I think one of the things I said to you is you're not a printer, you're a businessman.
Yeah.
You know, you're a businessman who prints. And out of those two, if we just said two skill sets, teaching someone to print is relatively easy. Teaching someone to be an entrepreneur and a businessman, I don't have those skills. I can't teach someone how to manipulate a market and set prices and you know, look for how you want to predict where you want your child to be in 5 years' time. That's you. That's your skill, and you can exercise that skill if you're so busy pulling a squeegee or pushing, however gear you are. Yeah.
Well, just press buttons now, don't we? You see what I thought you just said? Oh, for fuck's sake, I didn't want to do any editing, Tony.
You don't have to.
God.
People know my views by now.
Oh, you've properly thrown me off now. I had a right good train of thought going, it's gone.
Businessman, entrepreneur.
Yeah, and I think something that has sunk in and clicked very this year is I can be that entrepreneur. I can run and I can build a business. Given
I've spoke to you. There's some of the stuff you tell me that you're doing. I'm like, oh wow, yeah. I'd never thought of doing that. Yeah, I didn't know you had that skill. And if you've got that skill, why are you wasting it stood on a press?
Yeah, but
that's just a small part of your business. That's just the production bit. You know, there's a full funnel before that. Before it gets to that bit.
Yeah. So the more production taken off my hands. I really want to be 100% off of production. I want to be overseeing quality. You came up with the best term ever. I can't remember what it was now. But basically, I wrote it on my board, but I wiped it off.
You are quality control and logistics.
Quality control,
logistics. Quality control and logistics. Quality control. So basically, every job that comes off the press goes through you first. That's for you, Dan, shouting out, come and have a look at these. Yep. And logistics is you making sure he's got the screens, he's got the stock, he knows a visual, and he's got the inks. So that's the logistics side. And then when it's done, you take it out and you take it to the post office or whatever you do with it. Then, you know, that's the logistics side. And that's your skill. You're doing the logistics. And the quality control means that everything that comes off that press, even though it didn't come from your fair hands, it's still gone through your quality process. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. And, you know, there might be times where Dan shows me someone and said, no, well, swap that blade out. Let's change that ink. Whatever. But actually, Dan is making informed decisions based on the fundamentals. Is it less or is it more ink? Oh, I could use a higher mesh. Well, I don't really want to fanny about with that. Oh, just chuck in a different blade.
We go through the six: the mesh, the blade, the angle, the speed, the pressure, the travel. We go through them all, and that was part of what I was doing with him. Was like, okay, what's wrong with it?
Yeah,
it's patchy. Is it more ink, less ink? Which one is it?
Yeah, well, I do my very best impression of you. And he'll show me a job, and I'll say, right, so how are we going to fix it? What tools are we... I ask him. He tells me.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him. I'm not saying, swap this for a 75. I'm not making them decisions. I'm asking him. And it's taking a lot of effort on my part to actually do that. Because, you know, I just want to go do it all myself.
Just go do it. Just turn that.
It's taking so much willpower to not just say, right, stand at end at dryer. And I start doing it.
Let me do this, yeah.
But it's quite amazing.
It pays dividends in the long run. It seems like such a time eater in the first sort of month, but after that, it starts to pay dividends.
Once it sinks in, once it becomes,
that's part of the reason I go into places is because what you've just said happens. People who are tasked with giving information, training the next generation, are so busy going, I can't got time to explain to you why it's going through that mesh count at that blade. What I'm going to tell you is use this. Not use this because, but use this.
Yeah.
And I go into places like, okay, well, we always use a red blade. Why? Well, the guy that used to work here said that a red blade was best and we have to use that. Okay, is he still here? No, he left 5 years ago. Oh, okay. To do what? To set up a pizza shop.
I reckon there are press operators around the world, around the country, who couldn't tell you the fundamentals, but Dan can.
Yeah, and that's because they're not taught them. And people say to me, "How long will it take you to print teach someone how to print?" You said the same thing to me. How long will it take you?
Asked you,
Yeah. How long will it take? And my answer is always the same. It depends on the person's intelligence. If you give me somebody with certain intelligence, no matter their experience at all, they don't have to even know what a squeegee is. I'll tell them.
Yeah.
But based on their intelligence, I'll teach them how to make intelligent decisions based on the facts presented to them.
Yeah.
And printing is about some retained knowledge, but it's a problem-solving exercise.
Yeah,
It's actually why I love printing, if I'm completely honest. It's because everything you do is a problem-solving exercise. You look at something, you go, right, okay, well, I've got a problem. What are my options to solve it? Yeah, what are my options? Well, I've got this option, or this option. Right, I'm going to do this option. Is it the right one? Well, yes, because that's wrong, and that's wrong. But these two are the option, but I'm going to go with this one. And if it doesn't work, I'll go with this one. But it's an informed decision, not a, right, when it goes patchy, you must use a red blade. When it's got smudgy, you must use a green blade. No explanation behind, why.
Yeah. Now, I reckon that could be a large part of the attraction to screen printing. It's constant puzzle solving.
It's a problem solve.
Problem solving. I actually joke about it every now and again that my dad was a firefighter, and I always say, I'm a fireman. Because I'm constantly putting out little fires. Constantly.
I used to say my job was putting out fires and greasing wheels.
Yeah.
That's all I ever did all day long. Put out fires and grease wheels.
Greasing palms.
Bad.
So that's a life update. Tony's been kicked out of Americas, and I've got Dan and Chloe joining the team, and that's life, isn't it?
Flipping sweet multinational PLC.
And I must admit, the whole purpose is to live on this laptop and grow a business that we just discussed. Right now, I've solved one bottleneck and just opened up another. Now I ain't got enough.
We never solve it. We'll never move it. Yeah.
Yeah. You fix one problem, it's like, oh shit. Now I can't keep up with
down
screens.
The road. Yeah.
I can't keep up with screens. My tunnel's not fast enough to keep up with two people on press. So, well, honestly, I'll do that my entire business career. I'm sure we will. We'll
there'll always be another problem to solve. Yeah. Another fire to put out. Yeah.
Well, that's what makes it fun, I guess, doesn't it? So,
fun.
We said we were going to do an hour.
We've done an hour.
25.
I think we've done all right there. Yeah.
We've talked about our trip to Germany, which will be the main topic of this episode. A little life update, and I hope that tickled your Chippy cravings.
I think so.
While.
Definitely. If the title's not Fingered in Lower Saxony, then I'm not playing.
You can edit it and upload it.
Yeah, all right. You know, I won't cut anything out.
No, well, you'll give me permission. You'll give me permission. This is going out raw. #raw.
Don't cut anything out. Yeah, this is how we are. People know us by now.
Right, enjoyed that little catch up.
All that remains to be said is...
See you in a bit.
I'll see you.
Now a bit abrupt. You're not going to say out about.
What do I normally say?
Like, subscribe, tell your man.
It's been that long.
Well,
you have been watching.
You've been watching Chippy Tea Podcast. Anyway, we're off, aren't we?
Yeah.
See you next time. I don't know when it'll be. Hopefully not too long.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. All best.
I don't want lobster thermidor with raspberry Kool-Aid. It's Friday night, I'm within me rights. I want a Chippy Tea.